All right, well, it's the wee hours of Thursday morning and time for an old man yapping. So, I got my dark teeny here. So clearly I'm in the mood to get a little hammered, get a little stupid, and I always get a little stupid. I have been procrastinating. I have Silk Song. I ranted and bitched so much about how I was absolutely not interested in playing Silk Song that one of my stupid little friends gifted it to me on Steam. So I own it. It's installed. I haven't played it because, well, originally I was like, well, I'm busy playing Factorio. I just got the Space Age expansion, finally. So I'm busy playing Factorio. And then I started to miss Huong in Starfield. So I had to go back and play Starfield some more because I missed her. How fucking pathetic is that? Yeah, that's something, let me tell you. So I've been playing Starfield, and I wanted to check a couple of things. And one of the things I wanted to check was, you know, like when you start a new game plus in Starfield and you start going through everything, then you get to a point where you're supposed to go and you're supposed to get an artifact from the collector. You have to go and help Vladimir fix stuff on the eye. And that's the point where you go, oh, hey, guys, the hunter is going to show up and he's going to kill one of you. And I got to wondering, can you just not tell him? Can you just go, okay, and go help Vladimir in the eye and let the hunter kill one of Constellation? And yeah, you can. It turns out you can. And I know a lot of people really don't like Sarah, so you know. And I'm kind of going through. I've been wrestling with this because if you skip the main quest, then you can barrel through all of those artifacts in like boom, an hour. However, there are things that you don't do. Like, you don't go with Walter Stroud to collect the one artifact, which means you don't get in the altercation with Slayton, which means you don't make the deal where they make the 6830 engine. So that's a ship part that you can't get if you don't do the full quest. And in addition, you don't get to go to the collector's. You don't get to go to the scow and deal with the collector. And maybe you want to do that, I guess. I don't know. And of course, there's the death of one of the Constellation members, which doesn't happen if you skip the main quest. But as I was looking it over, I was going, the major differences are that you can only get Sarah as a companion until you collect the first 6 artifacts, and then you can get the other 3 potential members of Constellation. Because that's when you first get to Constellation, Sam isn't there yet, Barrett is still missing, and what's her name? Andrasia. And Andrasia is still out on a mission. So, until you collect those first 6 artifacts, they don't show up and they're not available for your crew and they're not available for all of this other stuff. But collecting those 6 artifacts takes like half an hour. It's not all that difficult. One of the things that I kind of sit here and go, about is over the course of collecting Barrett from his mission, you go back to Vectera and you have an opportunity to recruit Lynn for your crew. And then you go to some other place, I don't remember where, and you can recruit Heller for your crew. I don't know if you can get Lynn and Heller if you skip the main quest. I'm going to check that on this playthrough. I'm on my 27th New Game Plus. So it's, yeah, I've played a fair amount of Starfield. Starcraft is an entirely different game. It's 30 years old. But yeah, I've been playing through Starfield, and I've been experimenting with the main quest and thinking about it and going, what do I want and not want over the course of my playthrough? Like, do I really want the 6830 engines? Are they really that important? I don't think they are. I think I can use the 6330s and they'll be fine. Do I really need Lynn and Heller on my crew? I guess I don't need them. I like to have them on my crew because they're the people who were there when I started, and I like to go back and say, hey, now that you guys are not miners anymore, why don't you come and work on my ship? They're fucking worthless, but, you know, I like to have them there. It's a nice thing. You don't meet anybody in the Ryujin quest line that you can have as crew on your ship. I feel like that sucks. I mean, during the Vanguard quest line, you meet Hadrian Sinon, and she can join your crew. During the SysDef command line, you don't meet anybody. Unless you side with the Crimson Fleet. And then you got that jerk on the first mission that you can put on your crew. And on the Freestar Rangers quest line, you got Autumn Macmillan. You can put her on your crew from the Red Mile. She's the one you meet when you go to Porma 3 at the Red Mile. Is it Porma 3 or Porma 2? It's one or the other. But, yeah. So you got kind of these, you got people that can be added to your crew in each of the major quest lines. There's even somebody from House Kadik during Shattered Space that you can put on your crew. But there's nobody in the Ryujin quest line, and that sucks. You should be able to put Imogene Salzo on your crew. She should quit Ryujin and decide to go freelance or something and be somebody you can put on your crew. That would be cool. I would like that. Anyway, I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they didn't give you somebody from Ryujin that you could put on your crew. This is a completely undirected and pointless discussion. But, you know, we are talking about Starfield. We are talking about, you know, Starfield can be mapped almost perfectly onto Skyrim. Because when you think about it, okay, you've got your various quest lines in Skyrim. You've got your Dragonborn quest line, okay? Obviously, that maps onto the Starborn quest line. Duh. Then you've got the Ryujin quest line. The Ryujin quest line maps almost perfectly onto the Thieves Guild. It's the same general theme. And then you've got the Freestar Rangers quest line. Well, the Freestar Rangers quest line Well, that maps onto probably the companion's quest line. That's kind of what that feels like. Is like it feels like it maps onto the companion's quest line, and then you've got the UC Sysdef and the Vanguard. The UC Sysdef that's the Civil War because you choose a side. But the Vanguard, I don't know, would the Vanguard be the companions? The Vanguard is more of the Mages Guild. Yeah, that's more how it maps, is to the Mages Guild. Because one of them's the Mages Guild and one of them's the Companions. And the thing that's missing, the thing that I thought Shattered Space was going to like fill the gap of, is the Dark Brotherhood. We don't really have a Dark Brotherhood quest line. And then we got the Trackers Alliance, which was just recently added. The Trackers Alliance is kind of like it's one fucking quest. So I don't know. I don't know if that really counts as mapping onto any faction. Huh. Shattered Space. Shattered Space kinda maps onto Dawnguard. And then we got this Starborn thing coming out. That's probably going to map onto the Dragonborn DLC, where you have to deal with Mirak. Oh, where's the Dark Brotherhood? I feel like the Trackers Alliance was supposed to be the Dark Brotherhood. Because it's kind of independent contracts within it. I feel like they're checking boxes. I feel like it's very formulaic and they're kind of checking boxes on the whole thing. So who knows what Starborn's going to be? I have been debating since my stupid little friend has sent me Silksong, and now I got to play Silksong. I have been debating, do I want to just go ahead and drop the $10 and get Watchtower so I can play it and say I don't fucking like it and this is why I don't fucking like it? Do I not have anything better to do with that $10? It's a frustrating question. I know I'm not going to like Watchtower, but I feel like I can't give an informed opinion on why I'm not going to like Watchtower unless I buy it and play it, because people always go, well, if you didn't buy it, how do you know what you're talking about? It came to me in a dream. I don't know. What the fuck? What do you expect from me, guys? It's like when I played Cyberpunk, okay? I know I've talked about this before, but when I played Cyberpunk and I went, this game's a piece of shit. Everybody went, well, which life path did you choose? Oh, I picked this one. I think I picked Corpo my first time in. They're like, oh, well, you gotta try like the other one, and you gotta pick the one where you're like the nomad life path, and then there's like another one which is, I don't know, like a buttfucker life path or something, and people said, well, you should try that one. So I tried all three of the life paths, and I tried them as both genders, and I went through the main quest, and I level capped my character, and I tried multiple different builds, and I tried engaging with the open world, and I tried engaging with the side quests, and I tried doing all of the optional quests, and I tried this thing, and I tried that thing, and this thing, and that thing, and it's like, eventually I had been trying enough stuff that I had put like 300 hours into the game, and people started going, well, you must be enjoying yourself, or you wouldn't still be playing. And it's like, I just really wanted to like this game. I really, really wanted to like Cyberpunk because I played Cyberpunk tabletop all the way back in the 80s, and I really liked it, and I really enjoyed it, and I really spent like all of these years wishing for a game. And you know what? When you're just walking around and you're not engaging with anything, CD Projekt Red did such a fantastic job making Night City feel like Night City as long as you didn't do anything. As soon as you got in a car, the driving felt like shit. As soon as you got into combat, the combat was garbage. When you engaged with the game systems were broken. They were fucked up. If you threw grenades into the water, they didn't splash. And but if all you did was just walk around Night City, it was perfect. You walked around and it's like all of the ads and the gangs and just the passersby and just in general, the atmosphere of the game was so perfect. The world was perfect. And the game was dog shit. And I hate that. And I feel like it's so easy to fall into that trap as a game designer and developer, okay? And I feel like it's really easy to get very bound up. And I have so much lore. I have so much background mythology and information on the Ten Pensagami and the various gangs of perverts and the areas that they encounter and the different levels that I'm designing. There's so much lore. There's so much backstory. And none of it means a fucking thing unless the game is fun to play. Nobody will care. I feel like a lot of developers miss that. id Software completely fucking nailed it with Doom and Quake. They said nobody cares about the story. They're here to play a game. They don't fucking care. You can do anything. What's the story? I don't know. I don't care. Who the fuck does? People don't read manuals. People don't read tutorials. People don't follow instructions. It's just give them something that's simple and easy and intuitive. Put it in front of playtesters. If the playtesters have trouble, it's not their problem. It's the game's problem. The game has the problem, not the gamer. That's really hard for a designer and developer to admit, is that you can design the coolest, most elegant system, and you put it in front of a player, and the player goes, "What the fuck is this?" It's fucked up, is what it is. The game is fucked up. If you put your cool, elegant system in front of a player, and the player goes, "What the fuck is this?" the player is right. It's not cool, it's not elegant, it's fucked up. And you have to fix it. The player will tell you how to fix it, and they will be wrong. Players know bad design when they see it. They don't know good design. Ever. It's just... A lot of people went and played Starfield, and Starfield was trying to be one thing, and they wanted it to be something else. And I have this ongoing argument with a number of people that they go, you're supposed to mod the game. You're supposed to mod Bethesda games. That's like, that's how you play them. Yeah, you can. But now you're playing a different game. I got a collection of very nice mods for Starfield. One of them allows you to spawn NPCs anywhere, which means that I can spawn Huong anywhere in Starfield that I want. Doesn't do anything, she just kind of stands there. But this is fantastic for getting pictures of her. There's a mod to add anyone to your crew, and now I can put Huong on my spaceship. And she idles and wanders around the spaceship. I got a couple pictures in photo mode. I was absolutely charmed by this. I put her on my ship. She leaned up against the wall, and she hung out there for a while. And then she took a book off the shelf and started reading. What the hell? Fruit fly. I don't like fruit flies. We get fruit flies because we have fresh fruit. Not enough pointed sticks, just fresh fruit. At least I didn't have a drink in my hand when I had to swat the fly. I used to keep fly paper just off screen. Now the flies are more or less under control. There's only one or two of them. We don't have clouds. We have managed to do away with that. And the reason is, when you get your produce home from the grocery store, you're supposed to wash it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people just, don't bother. They bring the produce home and they don't wash it, and then various bug eggs hatch, and now they got bugs in their house. I have educated my mother on this, and now she washes the produce when it comes home. But she doesn't wash the melons for some reason. I'm trying to like jump on her about that. Yes, melons and cantaloupe count. You need to wash those when they come in the house too. They're less and less functional as time goes by. Like, they're still there. They just aren't as conscientious. They forget things, and they think things happened that didn't happen. I'm constantly running interference for my parents between my dad, who thinks he said something he never said, and my mother, who thinks he said something he never said. And it's actually a secret third thing that neither one of them wants to admit he said. My mother ordered a big sheet of plexiglass, black plexiglass, to put on the outside of the pantry door because she thinks it will look cool. I said, you understand that black plexiglass is a mirror, right? Like, a sheet of black plexiglass is basically a mirror. And she's like, well, it doesn't matter. I already ordered it. So we have this big sheet of black plexiglass. It's 72 inches tall. the door she wants to attach it to is 79 inches tall. And she keeps saying that my dad told her it was 72 inches tall. And my dad keeps saying, no, I told you it was 79 inches tall because that's what it is. Now, I was there for this conversation, and I know what happened. And what happened was my dad said, there's no way that door is only 72 inches tall. And that's the tallest you're going to be able to get. A sheet of plexiglass is 72 inches. And there's no way that door is only 72 inches tall. And apparently all my mother heard was that door is only 72 inches tall. And my father thinks he said the thing that is true because he's a narcissistic jackass. So he thinks he said it's 79 inches tall. And my mother thinks he said that door is 72 inches tall. And I'm like, he didn't know it was 79 inches tall. He just told you there was no way it's 72. And of course there's no way it's 72. Because you see me standing next to it all the time. And it's taller than me. Duh. I'm 6'2". If it's taller than me, it can't be 72 inches tall. There's no way. And I have to run interference between them for all of this stuff. And it's just, they're able to function as human beings. They're not able to function productively. They are less and less able to function productively. It's hard watching your parents get old. Because, that's happening to you. And I look at my dad and I go, is that me in 20 years? I look at my mom, I go, is that me in 20 years? Am I going to be able to finish everything I want to finish before that happens to me? And occasionally I see something that gives me hope. Occasionally I see somebody who's 85 or 90 years old and they're still bright and aware and just doing fine. And I go, I hope that's lifestyle and not genetics. We know what causes dementia, really. Well, we don't necessarily know what causes dementia, but we know what stops dementia. Cardio. If you get up and you move and you get your heart pumping, you won't get dementia. So you just have to exercise. That's all you have to do is exercise. I've been falling off on so much stuff. We had so much crap all over the place. And I got an area out in the other half of the basement, which was usually like my sparring zone. It's where I've got my standing bag to punch and to do my stick work and my butt jump do work. And more stuff keeps moving down into the basement and piling up. And I haven't really had a good space to do that. And I got my pull-up bar and my gymnastic rings, but I just haven't been using them. I haven't been using my gorilla bow as much as I should be. I'm not working out as much as I should. I'm not exercising as much as I should. I am, like clearing out blackberries and shit. but I'm not putting in the work I should be doing on anything. I'm not practicing my art. I'm not practicing my music. I'm not working on code. I'm just kind of here. And next week, this video moves to Wednesday. So I got a video on Monday and a video on Wednesday, and that's 2 days apart. There's only 1 day in the middle of those. And then there's 4 days with nothing. That's a long time with no video. And I'm going to do that for like 4 or 5 weeks before I finally pull the trigger and start doing like the new thing of showing up, tuning in. Something out. Working out. Is it working out? I don't remember. It's supposed to be, it's something out. Building out. Maybe it should be working out. Showing up, tuning in, working out. Showing up, tuning in, building out. Showing up, tuning in, working out. I think building out, because working out sounds like I'm going to be given like exercise advice. I could give exercise advice, but I'm not gonna. I was trying to talk about some game design shit. And I got sidetracked because I've been drinking. One of the things that Bethesda does really, really well is they provide fairly generic experiences with slightly new trappings, you know? I feel like they fumbled the Trackers Alliance. I feel like when they did the Trackers Alliance, they went, here's the first quest, and here's the second quest for $7. Everyone, what the fuck is your problem? $7 for a quest? And then Kingath does Watchtower, and everybody goes, woo, $10. I mean, the content for the Vulture was fucking garbage. It's 5 missions and you get to do 3 of them. That's it. There's one mission where you go and you try to get the Vulture, and instead you find another guy and there's an ambush. Okay. And then you get a choice between, you could do this mission over here or that mission over there. And you pick one and you do it, and maybe that's it. But there's a third alternate. You can go to the Vulture's Roost area and you can like clear out the space, and then there's like in that area there's a ship that you can steal. But in addition, The Vulture's Roost, I think, was in the main game already. I don't think you have to take the Vulture quest for the Vulture's Roost to be there. I could be wrong. I have stumbled over it without picking up that quest, but I do have the quest enabled at the same time. I never do it. Not that much in it. Watchtower adds a faction and a mission string, and I'm not sure how long the mission string is. I'm guessing it's 6 to 8 missions long. It could be longer, it could be shorter, it could be either way, like regardless. It adds a new location that you get to control in terms of your like space station thing, and it adds new mechanics. It adds mechs, and it adds like orbital bombardment, and it adds like a whole bunch of stuff to the game. The Vulture added a weapon and 2 outfits and 4 missions, of which you can do 3 in any given playthrough. And it was $7. I'm not complaining too much, and the reason I'm not complaining too much is I bought the digital deluxe edition of Starfield, or whatever the fuck they call it, or the Founders, Pioneers bullshit, whatever, stick it up your ass edition. But I bought the most expensive edition of Starfield, pre-ordered, and accordingly, I got 1,000 Creation Club credits. In addition, they gave me another 100 when the Creation Club opened. So I had 1,100 credits. And when they opened the Creation Club, the first thing they made available, hey, presto, here's the Vulture. That was the most expensive creation. Obviously, it was the best, so I took it. And I browsed through the rest of the stuff, and I said, well, what else is here? And I picked up Starborn Guardian 7 Plus because it said, this keeps track of how many New Game Plus runs you've done. Well, I want that, and it's not in the stats, so I definitely want that. I don't fly the fucking ship. One of the first things I do when I start New Game Plus is get rid of my Starborn armor and ship. I want to get other stuff, and what I've been doing lately, what I've been doing this run, anyway, what I did this run was I ran off and did the Mantis quest, so I get the Mantis armor and the Mantis ship, and I'm like, okay, I'm the Mantis. I'm not a Starborn, I'm the Mantis. When I first show up at the lodge, I'm in the Mantis armor and I'm flying the Mantis ship, so everybody knows who I am. And it's really funny when you're walking around in the Mantis armor, how many of the security guards are like, oh, come the fuck on. You gotta be kidding me. Because you're dressed as the Mantis. And of course, if you complete the Mantis quest before you join the Trackers Alliance, you can choose Mantis as your handle in the Trackers Alliance. And then people comment down in the little Trackers Alliance bar. They go, well, not the Mantis, right? Just, you're Mantis, but you're not the Mantis. Yeah, I am the fucking Mantis. I keep trying to design the best ship for the Mantis. This may be the most worthless video I have ever recorded. I cannot imagine what anybody is getting out of this. I want my videos to be useful and helpful. I want them to contain information that improves your life in some way. I want them to make you better at something. I want them to make you smarter. I want them to do some good. I don't know if they do. Occasionally I get comments. I did a video a while back and somebody commented on it. And they said, wow, this got really intimate toward the end, but I'm glad that it did. Because you mentioned how you wish somebody had been there for you to help you navigate being queer at a young age. And now you're doing these videos and they're helping other people do that. I hope they are. I hope my videos are helping people navigate things. I hope my videos are helping people understand how to be more successful in business and how to be more successful in their job and how to be more successful in school, how to be better software developers and game designers and artists and musicians, and how to just be better people. I hope I'm helping people do that. I don't know if I am. One of the things I'm doing in the next month, and I'm looking back over this because, it's just gone Rosh Hashanah. It's just the other day was Rosh Hashanah. So, Lashana Tova for all those that celebrate. But, you look back and you look at what's gone right, and you look at what you've done well over the past year. It was hard for me to identify anything I did. I don't feel like I did very much well over the past year. I feel like the best I could say over the past year is I didn't fuck up some. So Yom Kippur will be a little easier. Not much, but some. Because on some level, not doing a very good job is the same as doing a bad job. I could have done more. Should have done more. Imagine Liam Neeson, the end of Schindler's List. But in an alternate version of the movie where he didn't do any of the good things that he did. He just didn't do anything and sat there at the end going, I could have done more, I should have done more. A lot of YouTubers would go back into the video and they would chop out the part where they're reflective and thoughtful. You'll find when you go through YouTube, you'll find that there is video after video of people speaking, and at the end of the sentence, they do not pause. They just go directly on to the next part of the sentence. They just go directly on to the next thing they want to say. There's never a pause. There's never any room for you to think, never any room for you to pause or take a breath. or think about what they just said. They never pause to think about what they just said. This is a lie. One of the things that I've done a lot, particularly in podcasting, one of the things that you learn to do in podcasting is every so often you'll start to say something and you'll fuck it up entirely. Every so often you'll start to say something and you'll fuck it up entirely. Every so often you'll start to say something and you'll fuck it up entirely. And when you fuck it up, what you do is you repeat it. And when you fuck it up, what you do is you repeat it. And when you fuck it up, what you do is you repeat it. And then when you go back and you do the edit, you go into the area where you fucked it up. And what you have to do is you have to do it correctly twice in a row. And because you've done it correctly twice in a row, you can go into the middle of it and you can chop stuff out. You do it in the middle of a word. If you do it between words, people will hear it. But the funny thing is, if you chop it in the middle of a word, if you edit the middle of a word into the middle of a word, people don't hear it. They don't notice it. So what you learn as a podcaster, what you learn as an audio person, what you learn as an audio person is to say the same thing, with roughly equivalent inflection, so that you can go into the middle of it and you can take the best take and you can edit it together with the rest of the takes. It's a skill that a lot of people don't develop. It's a skill that a lot of people don't develop. It's a skill that a lot of people don't develop. It's a skill that a lot of people don't develop. It's a skill that a lot of people don't develop. And on video, you can see that all of those were different sentences. Audio might not be able to tell. It might sound like it was just on a loop. So I've been doing this a long time. Because I've been doing this a long time. And you go into the loop group club, where you can deliver the same sentence with the same inflection over and over again. Where you can deliver the same sentence with the same inflection over and over again. Where you can deliver the same sentence with the same inflection over and over again. It's a skill. It's a thing you develop. I had people tell me I'd be a good voice actor, but I don't know how to get voice acting job. I don't even know where to begin. And I don't know, I feel like to get voice acting jobs, you kind of have to do voices. I mean, I can, quote unquote, do voices, but they're not like fancy, extravagant voices. They're just like slightly different voices. I can do a boatload of accents because I study the hell out of how people speak, because I study the hell out of how people speak. The instincts never go away. I fucked that up. Let me do it again. I fucked that up. Let me do it again. I fucked that up. Let me do it again. I fucked that up. Let me do it again. The single most important part of doing that kind of work is never to acknowledge it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing for you to practice if you're a podcaster or a videographer. If you have a sentence you need to say and you say it and you fuck it up, like if you're saying the sentence and you use the wrong furnace, if you're saying a sentence and you use the wrong furnace, if you're saying a sentence and you use the wrong word, if you're saying a sentence and you use the wrong word, If you're saying a sentence and you use the wrong word, you do not comment on saying the wrong word, because that can end up in there. That can end up in the take. If you're saying a sentence and you say the wrong furnace, oh fuck, I said furnace and I meant to say word. If you're saying a sentence and you say the wrong word, see, now that fucks everything up. But you just press on. You repeat the sentence and you say it right. Say it correctly. You don't do any fourth wall commentary. You don't do any, let me talk to the guy in the booth. It's just you. It's nobody but you. You don't need to talk to you. You say the sentence with the wrong furnace. You say the sentence with the wrong furnace. You say the sentence with the correct word. You say the sentence with the correct word. You say the sentence with the correct word. And that gives the engineer something he can work with, and it's not going to have something fucked up in it. Unless he fucks up and goes, you say the sentence with the wrong furnace. You say the song with, you say this, I've had too much to drink. You say the sentence with the wrong furnace, and then you say the sentence with the correct word. If the engineer cuts it and it comes out, you say the sentence with the wrong furnace, you say the sentence with the correct word, that's on the engineer. That's not on you. But if you break the fourth wall, there's that dark elf chick in Oblivion who delivered a line and said, wait a minute, let me try that again. Don't say, wait a minute, let me try that again. Just do it again. Just do the line again. And that way, they get the line twice. Why does it have the line twice? Clearly the engineer fucked up. Certainly it's not the voice actor. The voice actor didn't fuck anything up. I have wandered way off topic. We are 52 minutes in. And I am almost done with this drink. And we are way off topic. I have this pattern when I play Starfield now. I have this pattern where I want a different ship and a different suit before I go to the lodge. Because I don't want to show up looking like a Starborn. I never want to fly into a spaceport with my Starborn Guardian. Ever. So I start off, I land on Vectera, and you know, Vectera really is the fucking butthole of the universe. Like, it's absolutely fucking awful. Nothing happens there, like, ever. There are no points of interest with people on them. It's all just like fucking caves and shit. It's garbage. There's nobody there. There's nothing there. Ships don't land there. It's ridiculous. It's just the most nowhere fucking place. And then you go to Crete, and it's got some points of interest. And that science lab on Crete, that's a good place to start, because in New Game Plus, the pirates aren't there. It's just like unoccupied. But there are all these digipicks. And there are all these useful items that you can pick up that aren't in most other points of interest. It's a really good like starting place. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the starting locations of every game are more treasure rich than the later areas. They want to get you hooked. It's that whole first one's free attitude. Anyway. When I start a new game of Starfield, the first thing that I want to do is I want to survey Vectera, which is simple as fuck. I just land and I use the elemental pull power. And I collect all of the fucking minerals that are nearby, and that typically surveys the entire planet. Done. Nothing else I need to do. Then I go over to Crete. Well, before I go over to Crete, I survey the planet in the middle, which is a gas giant. That gives me more survey data. And the survey data for both of those goes for 700 credits. So right there, I've got a reasonable nest egg to start with. I mean, that's enough to buy, like, a nice suit. Which is useful because, like, eventually I'm going to go do the Ryujin quest line. That's, like, it's the first thing I typically do. I organize the stuff that I do in Starfield by the amount of spaceship combat there is. I do the Ryujin questline first. No spaceship combat. There is the Datura, but I don't fight it. I say, hey, let me come on board and we'll talk about how, like, if you give me your gun, then I won't have to kill you, and this Simon Rychek motherfucker will think you're already dead. And she always goes, yeah, okay, come on over here. And then I shoot her and steal her ship. I always do that. I always steal the Datura. I tell her we're going to negotiate, and then I get on board her ship, and I immediately shoot and kill her and take her ship. I'm not a nice person. Maybe I should stop doing that. There's a thing that goes around on Tumblr sometimes. People go, you're like level 300 and you're doing these fucking side quests for people. What the hell is wrong with you? And the response is, because my no consequences power fantasy is that I can help everyone. I'm on my 28th New Game Plus. 28th? 27th? I don't know. I gotta check. Which means I gotta fire up Steam and I gotta whack play. And that means you're gonna hear some shit. You're gonna hear some shit from Starfield, and we may have some encoding difficulties as the processor tries to keep up and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna check. I do very much love playing Starfield. Yeah, if I go continue. Well, I'm not in my Star Wars Guardian, so. Let me flip over so you can actually see it loading. Doesn't have my photo gallery immediately available when you're first loading the save, I guess. So it loads just like some random thing. If it were loading something actually in my photos, it would load a photo of Huong. Ooh. And as you can see,
Rover over at Keltco. She's too good
As you
for
can
me.
see, I'm
Sounds like she's trying to help.
right next to Huong. So, yeah, there's a Starborn Guardian 27, which means it's new game plus 27, but my 28th time through the game.
Someone or something?
And, what is wrong? My controller is acting up. As you can see, I simp hard for Huong, like ridiculously hard. Way too many pictures. This one NPC. Like, look at this. Oh God, look at this one. Seriously. I mentioned that I got that. I mentioned that I got the mod where I could put her on my ship, and she immediately like picked up a book and started reading it, and just like stared off into the distance, like she was lost in thought. And there she is having a nap. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this because I don't know how long it's been since she's been able to sleep in a real bed. Anyway, I'm an absolute fucking simp for Huong. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Quick to desktop, yes. Quick to desktop. And there's my, there's my wallpaper. Yeah. Yeah, I simp hard for this girl. But anyway, yes. 20th time through the game, 27th new game plus. What was I saying? Oh yeah. And I've forgotten what I was saying again. But yeah. I've got this kind of pattern that I go through as I go through the game. And that pattern is get rid of my suit, get rid of my ship. And usually what I do is I just land on Crete and I start going around to points of interest. And I just like take out spacers and ecliptic and pirates until I get some kind of outfit. I need a pack and a suit and a helmet that aren't starborn, and I need to capture a ship that's not starborn. Of course, I can, and I've been doing this here and there. I go to the Stroud Eklund Star Yard in Narian, and I switch my home ship to the Frontier. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I land on Crete and a Claymore 3 or a UC Vista, or sometimes a Freestar Vista. And I can grab those. So that's cool. Let me make sure we've got proper focus here. But I really kind of feel embarrassed to be starborn, or at least I feel like it's my secret identity, and I should conceal it from the general population. But in the past couple of games, I run off and I go become the mantis like immediately, and that way they're like, oh, you're the mantis. Yes, yes, I am. And that's why I'm so fucking cool. That's why I have magic powers, because I'm the mantis. The mantis has magic powers. Didn't you know that? I have found that create vacuum is an amusingly powerful weapon in the early game. I go through entire bases, and all I do is just peek around the corner from stealth and throw create vacuum at the middle of a bunch of enemies. And they freak the fuck out, but they never actually figure out where I am or that it's me. And it's so funny when you combine sense star stuff with create vacuum, and you see them go, oh shit, there's no oxygen in here. I can't breathe. Let me hide behind this wall. You just kind of see the enemy AI going, I'm taking damage. I better get behind cover. You're taking damage from vacuum. You can't hide from vacuum. It's terribly funny. It's terribly cute. It reminds me of when my son was like a year and a half old. He drank too much eggnog and he was throwing up, and he kept trying to run away from it. He would start throwing up, and he would try to run away, and then when he got where he was going, he would throw up there, and he would be like, oh god, there's throwing up over here too. It was like he thought he was in the throwing up place, and that's why he was throwing up. And it was terribly funny and also terribly sad. And he was just too young to understand. He's going to be over for the next week. He's here. They're here. My son is multiple. He's a system. It's a system. They're a system. And they have a boyfriend, which is gratifying. It's gratifying because it's you want to see your children get into relationships. I was talking to my son's boyfriend earlier this evening, and he said that they're a couple, but it's relationship anarchy, so they don't feel a need to put a label on it. And he said, I know that's really difficult, especially for people of older generations. I said, oh, I'm pansexual and polyamorous, so I get it. And the visible relief that I saw when he just went, oh, you do get it. You definitely get it. I absolutely get it. I wonder how much of my weird shit my son has told his boyfriend. They've done well for each other. They're clearly very happy together, and I'm very happy for them because because that's nice. It's nice to be young and in love, have something like that. Anyway, we're over an hour, and I don't think I'm making any sense at this point. I'm going to try to deliver. I'm going to deliver some sneaky bonus bits at the end that you have to watch to the end to get. I don't have any sneaky bonus bits. There, that's the sneaky bonus bit, is that burp. I don't think that's very appealing. I don't think anybody's going to want to stick around for a burp. Nobody would stick around for it anyway. They'd just go, hey, just skip to this part to get the good bits. And that's fine. That's what skipping around is for. That is a tremendous service that people do. If you jump in the comments and you go, hey, the good part with stuff that you want to listen to is at this point in the video, y'all are doing God's work, and you need to keep doing it. Because I don't give a flying fuck at a rolling donut how long you watch my videos. I don't feel like the videos I'm doing right now even count. I don't know that I've said this out loud right now, but until I get to the videos I'm doing in November, I don't feel like my videos really matter or say anything or accomplish anything or anybody actually cares. But in November, I'm going to try to make it better. I'm going to start talking about some basic shit. I'm going to start talking about some basic music theory on Wednesdays. I'm going to start talking about, I'm going to do some refactoring on Fridays. Ooh, that's going to be fucking awesome. Ooh, it's going to be fucking amazing. You're going to love that shit. I'm putting off refactoring my game as it stands until November. And part of that is because, and it's been a long while. It's been like 2 months that I've even looked at the code. Almost 3, actually. I can check how long it's been since I looked at the code. When's the last time I edited the code? Come on, Gatto, tell me how long it's been. It is currently September 25th. And it's been 2 months and 12 days since I looked at the code. So, when I get around to looking at it again, it's going to be 3 months and 12 days. 3 months and a bit more, actually. And part of why I'm doing that is because I really, really want to underscore that you in 6 months is a different person. I don't want to wait a whole 6 months. But when I go in to refactor code that I haven't looked at in 3 months, I'm going to be doing something that a lot of people have to do because work got busy, because life got in the way. You couldn't pick up your stuff for 3 months. And then you finally got to it and you picked it up again and you look at it and you went, what's this crap? That's normal. That's how it goes. You in 6 months is a different person. You in 3 months is close to a different person. So that's important. That's an important thing to communicate. And I feel like that's going to be valuable. I feel like when I pull that up and go, I haven't looked at this in 3 months, so now let's look at it and let's refactor it. I feel like that is going to be meaningful and useful to a lot of game developers and a lot of game designers. And I don't know if they'll really appreciate it, but I do feel like it will be valuable to them. Most people just pick themselves up and stumble along as if nothing ever happened when they come across something valuable. I'm hoping some of you are smarter than that. Everything takes time. It takes an immense amount of time. Meanwhile, very aware that I'm running out of time. I am almost 56 years old. There is more of my life behind me than ahead of me. It changes the way you see the world, changes the way you relate to it, that changes the way you interact with it. But you never stop wanting to fuck teenage girls. Unless you want to fuck teenage guys. That never changes. That never goes away. I feel like there's a dramatic rise in the number of asexuals these days, which is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me that you would like somebody and you would enjoy being around them and you would not want to have sex with them. Why don't you want to make your friend come? Your friend would like to come. You would like for your friend to have something they like. Why don't you want to help? That doesn't make sense to me. But then I'm pansexual. I don't care what gender my friend is. My friend would like to come. I would like to help my friend come. It's just how things work. Some friends are really weirded out by that. I don't know why. Don't you want your friends to have things they like? Who doesn't like to come? Everybody likes to come. why wouldn't you want to help your friend have something they like? Well, what if you don't have the right parts? Yeah, it's an engineering problem. Or what if they don't have the right parts? It's an engineering problem. The body is not the person. What matters is the person. Anyway, I think I'm becoming incoherent. I think I probably need to jump off of here. Do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. Okay, bye.